Shannon Courtenay here for SecondsOut with Shannon Courtenay. Recently found out Worst Kept Secret's finally out. You're making your pro debut on the big Copper Box show at the end of March. How does it feel not just to be finally making your pro debut, because it's been in the works for a while, but also to do it on such a big show on the undercard of a world title fight?
Yeah, it's a big event, obviously, so I'm chuffed. I went to the Copper Box to watch a fight in 2013. I think it was Billy Joe Saunders versus John Ryder. And I went there, I knew nothing about boxing, I'd never stepped foot in a gym, but I watched and I was like, I quite like this. And now, a few years later, I'm making my debut at the same place on Charlie Edwards' world title show, so yeah, I'm buzzing.
And at the risk of asking a really inappropriate question, what were you weighing back then?
A lot.
Because
a lot.
it's well known that through boxing, before you kind of really fell in love with the sport, you did it mainly to lose weight and to kind of get out of the lifestyle you were living. That's right, isn't it?
I was, I think, 82 kilos when I first went to Finchley. I was a heavy smoker, a heavy drinker, just up to no good.
Now you're just a heavy drinker.
Sometimes. No, heavy runner, that's it.
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of your social media stuff. You seem to be always training. Is that ever a concern that you might overtrain as your trainer? Or you're obviously in the Adam Booth camp. Do they ever have to kind of rein you in a little bit?
Yeah, obviously. Like when I was an amateur, I do think I trained too much as an amateur. I was constantly out doing long distance runs and just non-stop sparring. So now I've got an actual setup, and I have to follow it every day, and there are 2 sessions a day, and I can't go over it. And it's good because I feel much more fresher for it, and I just feel better.
Of course, as we said, you are based in that Adam Booth camp out in Red Hill. Who, apart from Adam himself, who have been the biggest influences on you in that camp?
What, the boxers?
Well, yeah, or assistant trainers or whatever. Yeah.
Obviously, Charlie Beat's been huge. He's changed me physically so much. Before I started there, I'd never lifted a weight. Now I lift weights 4 times a week, I think, and my body's changing because of it. My weight's coming down because of it, without even needing to diet. He's changed my mentality as well. But I think the boxer that's given me the most is 100% Ryan Burnett. I ask him everything. I probably pester him too much, because he used to ask Andy Lee all these questions when Andy Lee was world champion. So now I'm doing it to him, and he's got the experience and he's got the knowledge, which is invaluable to me. So yeah, I get a lot of advice from Ryan.
How's he getting on at the moment? Because obviously the last a lot of people saw of him was when he injured his back in that fight with Nonito Donaire. How's his recovery going?
I think he's still in Belfast. I think he's slowly ticking over at home. I saw him in December and he seemed much better. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing him back in the gym. I don't know when it is, but no, it'll be exciting when he's back. And I know for a fact that he'll be a world champion again. It's just a little bump in the road, but it's no biggie. And he didn't lose the fight. It was an injury, and I think if he hadn't lost that fight, that would have gone on to be his best performance of his career so far.
Where do you get the majority of your sparring from? Is it in-house with some of the guys that are there? Do you bring people in, or do you travel? Do you have to travel a lot for sparring?
They bring people in for me. Obviously, I've sparred when Charlie Edwards was there. I was sparring Charlie. I think I'm going to be doing some rounds of Lucian soon. I got sparring straight after the press conference today that someone's coming down, a guy's coming down to the gym to spar me. So we haven't had to go travelling yet. I'm sure eventually I'm going to have to, because obviously being a woman, it's harder to come by good sparring. But if I have to travel, I have to travel. It's needs be, it's part of the job, so I don't mind. What
was the experience like sparring Charlie Edwards? Obviously he's topping this bill, he's a world champion. What was that like? A bit of a steep learning curve?
He's annoying, that's all I'm going to say. You can't catch him, and when you do catch him, he's gone again. So I sparred him on my first ever day at Adam's gym, and it really opened my eyes, like an awful lot. But no, it's mad that I'm now fighting on his undercard for his world title, and that's not even a year ago.
Are there key differences between sparring a man and a woman in terms of styles and tactics and that kind of thing?
Yes, definitely. I think sometimes with the men, it's either not enough or too much. So not enough as if they don't want to hit you because you're a woman, and then when you land a good one on them and you hurt them, they get embarrassed because you're a woman, so they come on too much, they almost become reckless. So with a woman, it's you match each other, do you know what I mean? But I actually prefer sparring men because I think they're obviously tougher, it's more competitive, and I'm only ever going to learn by someone who is better than me. So if I have to go in with someone that's going to hit me harder than a woman would, then so be it, but it's the best way to learn.
We see a lot of the female boxers in the limelight at the moment in the UK have been fast-tracked to an extent, partly because of their amateur achievements and partly because there isn't a lot of active female boxers in this country, so there isn't really much of a choice. Do you see yourself going in the same direction, or will you need a little bit more of a grounding before, a bit more of a slow build?
Well, obviously, as you know, I've been with Adam now for a while. We only got my licence in January, but between then, like I started training down there full time in September. So between now and then, I've been building up what I need to learn now, because in women's boxing, there's a massive jump. There's got like the starting, and there's no middle ground. Then it's world championship level. Do you know what I mean? So there's no middle ground. So I'm been earning and learning that middle ground now, so that when it comes to it, it's not a big jump for me. But I don't want to be fast tracked too much, as in the way that you see these, not just women, men that have 2 or 3 fights and they're straight away shouting, I want a title, this, I want that next. Listen, the titles will come when they come. I'm not going to rush it. I trust the process. I trust Adam completely. So when it happens, it happens.
And for people out there that won't have seen you fight before, because it's mainly been built on under the radar amateur club shows, smaller championships and stuff, how would you describe your own style?
Aggressive. I'm a pressure fighter. I don't mind getting hit to land one, which I think has kind of changed now. But I've since being with Charlie and Adam, my style's changed a lot. I'm still aggressive. I'm still a pressure fighter, but getting hit a lot less, and slick movement and fast twitching. You know, the typical boxing booth style. But they're making me stay that pressure fighter, which I'm glad, and I enjoy it. And it's nice that as an amateur, you're always told, hands up, stand tall, which I never liked, and now they're letting me be me, and I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it.
And just before we let you go, for people that want to kind of latch onto the journey now, it's not too late, you know, you've just turning pro. How do people follow you? What are your main kind of social media outlets?
Twitter and Instagram. Obviously Shannon_Courtenay on Instagram, and I think Shannon Courtenay, on Twitter. S Courtenay.
If you don't know, we don't know.
Just type in Shannon Courtenay.
Yeah, we'll use the search function. I think that'll work.
Yeah, that much better.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck for your debut. We hope you steal the show. Cheers.